2 blocks at the end, especially that last block.
Right. I was just out there just competing, trying to get a stop, and just came up with a block. King. Yeah.
On your shot, obviously everybody's struggling offensively, but one of the biggest shots in the game, the shot at the end, off the offensive rebound.
Um, what was the question?
No, just what was your feeling about that? And you got really pumped up after that.
I mean, for me, I would say, I mean, this game for me was honestly personal. I felt like the coaches gave me the assignment to guard their best player, so I felt like it was my time to step up as a young freshman and show everybody I can guard the best player every night. And also, like at the ending, that was just a relief. I felt like we was fighting all game, trying to get fouls, trying to get buckets, just fighting for everything. And at the end, I got rewarded. So, yeah.
What are you guys saying to each other when it's 30-13 in the first half on the bench and in timeouts or even at halftime? And when it's just a struggle like that, what's the message there, and how do you stay in it to think you can come back and do what you did?
You just gotta not break. Just keep playing. Almost not look at the clock. Just do what you're supposed to do. I mean, it's a game of runs. So, trying to get some stops, trying to make a run of your own, and see where that leads you.
I felt like that's something we've been harping on ever since the 1 week we had. Scary's been talking about like what does it take to break you, and like today we was constantly saying that in the huddle, like don't break, and we know we're a good team, so we're capable of coming back from any deficit. So.
Jake, you guys were down 6 with 2.5 minutes left. How and why were you guys able to execute so cleanly after that? Because you pretty much need to play perfect to win from that point on, and you guys were able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, just like we said, down 6, 2 minutes ago, just don't break. Go out there, try to get a stop, try to score. Try to get a stop, try to score. So, and fortunately, shots went in for us, didn't for them. Came up with a win.
And defensively, in crunch time, the last 4 minutes or so, you guys were nails. Why?
Yeah, it's time to win, time to get some stops. Don't break. We were down the whole game. We came a long way, so we just knew that it's just time to get a stop, and that's really what we pride ourselves on, defense, not breaking. And I mean, we didn't shoot great for the game, but we knew that if you get stops, we got a chance to, at some point shots will go in, and it's kind of what you saw up there.
Juwan, you guys held Shane's only 4 second-half points after you guys allowed 12 on him in the first half. What did Coach Scary kind of say at halftime regarding him?
I would say a lot of times in the first half, we was allowing him to like pump fake. We were closing out, jumping in the air, and he's a good enough shooter to the point where he can pump fake and just take a dribble and splash it. So I just felt like second half we stayed down on him and made him really think if he wanted to shoot or drive. And he's not much of a primary driver. Like he has a couple moves that he uses to go to the basket, but that's not his first option. His first option is that catch and shoot three. So.
Yeah. Can you guys explain some of the shooting woes this year?
I mean.
As far as I talk for myself, I haven't really been shooting the greatest, but just keep working. You could still, with the experience I have, I've seen teams that in the first half of the season they don't shoot great, and they still win games. You got to be able to win games even when you're not shooting great. And eventually, like I said, we have great players. We have players that work very hard. So we just believe that eventually it's going to average out, and you'll see these numbers go up. But in the meanwhile, we could still win games, and that's what we focus on, winning games.
What does it say about this team? You guys struggled to shoot in the first half, and overall from the game struggled to shoot from three, but you all were able to still, grind it out in this type of game. So what does it say about being able to walk away, victorious, although, you guys had those shooting goals?
I mean, I think right now we finding our identity in defense. I think even last game we didn't shoot great, still came up with a win against a pretty good team, and I feel like that's a good foundation to move forward with. You never know. Like I said, we might come one day and just make every shot, but if you have that foundation of getting stops and not relying on making shots to win games, whenever we do, you see how much of an advantage we're gonna have on the opponent. So
What's it like to go to the line, down one,
Uh-huh.
8 seconds?
Uh-huh.
I mean, you're not a freshman.
Mhm.
You've got some experience with.
For sure.
But tell me, I mean, still, how many times you had that in your career? What's it like? What's
Yeah.
the mentality? Describe that.
For me, walking there, I mean, I knew I was gonna make it. Mainly because I was praying. You know, I prayed before the game. I was expecting a big game. For me, it looked different. That was a very big game for me because, you know, I haven't been playing necessarily great. But walking to the line, I'm like, okay, this is what I was praying for. I knew I was gonna make it. I just did.
Physically, I mean, because you've been sick.
Oh yeah. I feel pretty good. You know, I feel great. I'm back to myself.
Jack, you had 3 turnovers in the first half. How did you kind of overcome that and just throw them out the window in the second half?
Yeah, I didn't even know I had 3 turnovers. Wasn't really thinking about them, but can't focus on that. You know, gotta. You know, of course, you don't want to turn the ball over all the time, but you know, can't do
For
all
both
that.
of you guys, I mean, there was a lot of energy in that building down the stretch. How much fun is it to play, when the crowd is pumped up that way?
I mean, I would say for me, I'm a energy junkie, so when there's a lot of people there, I'm just gonna play 10 times better. So, especially at the end right there, I just love a crowd like that, fighting for the rebound, getting the N1. Like I couldn't even control myself for real.
Yeah,
So.
this dude right here he's like you said, energy junkie. You know what I'm saying? And he feeds off of that. So I think we all do. You know, great crowd today. You know, very grateful for it. Hopefully, to keep coming, more people come to the games, because I think that was one of the big reasons why we was able to come up with that win right there. The crowd.
For sure.
First, we were. I'm really happy that we won. We were fortunate to win. Drexel is very well coached. They certainly outcoached us today. I give our guys a lot of credit for hanging in there. And then I want to thank the crowd for 1 o'clock on a holiday. That energy down the stretch was absolutely the difference in the game. It certainly wasn't the coaching, I can tell you that. But credit to our guys. We won the game, I think, by 2 things. One, we didn't turn the ball over. We only had 6 turnovers after the first media timeout of the game, and we crushed them on the glass. We got 42% on the offensive glass and over 90% on the defensive glass. So that allowed us to kind of hang in there.
One of the differences at the end was Jack coming in from the defensive works. Jack obviously had too much blocks.
Maybe the only intelligent thing I did all day, but he did a good job. A couple big blocks, making free throws. He's still getting his legs back under him. But yeah, those were big because obviously we had a really hard time stopping them.
Coach, it was a struggle for you guys to knock down shots in the first half. From 3, you all just didn't really connect. But in the second
You
half,
think?
Yeah. But in that second half, you guys really turned things around. What does it say about this club to be able to kind of have a poor shooting night, specifically from deep, but to still be able to walk away in the win?
Well, if it was the NFL, like the shooting coach and the offensive coordinator would probably be obliviated by this point. I think for us, it was a little bit like this at Charleston. We didn't rebound against Charleston. We took care of the ball. We guarded. Tonight we didn't guard, but we took care of the ball. We rebounded. If we do that, it's going to be tight. I do believe we've got good shooters that'll start making some shots. I thought Tejada was really good late. Just played really hard. I think he scored like 11 of our last 13 or something like that, and he just kind of willed his way to the basket. I like the amount of shots we're getting. Those guys, it's just a matter of time, I think.
How are you guys able to execute so cleanly in crunch time? I think you were down like 6 with 2 minutes left, whatever it was, and you guys played pretty much perfect in the game.
Yeah, I don't. We really hit the glass. I don't think we made a lot of shots. At the Womack rebound and one was a big play. They're big and strong, so and they had a good game plan. We thought they would pick us up high, and there was a lot of runway. We had to get in the lane and make good plays. Now, part of the problem is when you don't make a lot of threes, the lane gets crowded. I thought our guys did a little better job trying to play off 2 feet. It's one of those ones. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. But I did like the spirit of our group. You got to have some of these kind of wins in order to get where you're hoping to get to.
It's kind of all about just not making making shots, or some of the shots questionable?
Well, we didn't make shots. I thought the ball was a little sticky, and then, we had this problem to start a league. We just can't look sad when we're missing shots. We can't, as I said at halftime, what you want I don't know, you want someone to give you a hug? Like, everyone sees that we're missing shots. We got to do other things. We got to move on. We've got to have, it's January. It's late in the year. We've got to be tough. We've got to be Towson. I like that piece in the second half. But make no mistake, we were fortunate today, incredibly fortunate.
Is there any themes in a slow start? Because certainly in the second half, you got the energy's better.
Yeah,
they
I mean,
feeling sorry for
the other night we were up 34-17, and we talked a lot about urgency, and we needed this one to try to jump 4 or 5 spots in the standings. But I think it would be a little disingenuous. I mean, the other team's well coached. They got good players. They're preparing. This is the best our league's been in the last decade. I think there's so many athletic directors and presidents that have made so much more of a commitment, and you can see why, on any night, really anyone can beat anybody.
Just going to be Tyler Coleman on the floor when seems like he comes up with big rebounds.
Yeah, it's proud of him hanging in there. It's been a long journey. He's fulfilled his academic requirements, which was a great thing. So we're really happy about the way he's progressed this year.
Coach, you guys only left for 2.5 minutes, but obviously winning mattered the most. I'm interested to know, especially being down 17, what are those conversations like in the huddle as you're constantly trying to claw your way back into the game?
Was that always down 17?
That was the most I believe.
Jesus, yeah. It's nothing that would go on a Pixar movie. I can tell you that at times. You're just trying to get something that gives us a little momentum, and we've got guys that like each other. They got to be a little more vocal with each other when things aren't going well.
I could see Dylan make a few shots in the second half. I thought you guys that gave you some juice.
Yeah, but we're gonna go. He's kind of the barometer for us. I mean, 5 assists, no turnovers is outstanding. I mean, look at Dylan and Tyler are great players, and we need them, and we're gonna roll with them no matter what. So that's not even in my mind. We're just trying to make them take hard shots, but they spread you out. They got good drivers. They got good players. They're well coached. We had a really hard time stopping them. Thanks, guys.